everyone, and welcome to the third session of My Resume Clinic by Careernet. I'm Amrita, and I lead the Careernet community. Thank you all so much for joining today. Quick question: I'd love to know how many of you are joining us for the first time for this series, and how many of you have attended our past sessions? Drop your comments in the chat box. So, if you have been in on our earlier sessions, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, then My Resume Clinic is a series where we run to help people move from I have applied everywhere to I got shortlisted. Before we start, a quick note, this session is being recorded and the link will be shared with everyone who's registered. So in case you cannot stay till the end, don't worry. You will also notice two QR codes on screen for most of today's session. One will take you straight to our AI resume builder, and the other joins our WhatsApp channel where we post updates on sessions like this one. Feel free to scan either while we talk. You do not need to wait till the end. Before that, I also want to hear from you all. Drop in the chat what's one word which is the most frustrating part of job applications right now. Is it silence, rejection, ATS, or something else? I've also just put a QR code up on screen for the AI resume builder, which you can check out while we talk. Okay, we're gonna wait for some responses to come in on the chat. All right, I can see there's two people who are joining us for the first time. Welcome for this session. Okay, someone says ATS is the most annoying part of job applications. Someone says silence, ATS template and silence, ATS, silence, ATS. Okay. Well, that is exactly what today is about. Most resumes do not get rejected because the person is not qualified. They get rejected because the resume never gets read properly in the first place. So, to help us fix that, I am joined today by Gagan Prasad. Gagan is a learning and development professional, a corporate trainer, facilitator, and entrepreneur. And he has spent over 12 years designing learning experiences that help individuals and organizations perform at their best. At Careernet, he is the principal manager, learning and development, and he works directly with early career professionals on exactly the kind of resume and interview readiness we're covering today. So, Gagan, over to you.
Thank you so much, Amrita. Hi, Himanshu. Hello, everybody who have joined us. Here in Bangalore, it's raining, so I think not pretty sure if this is a time for a good cup of chai or for some gyan session on resume building. But I'll try to keep it as crisp as possible. For the early professionals who are just getting out to make a mark in various industries. I feel that this session will help you in analyzing resume, which is just not a biography, right? Which is not about just sharing a certain capability that we have, but rather than showing a certain evidence that we would have, gained over certain amount of our years in education. I am going to start off with one question, and let us make it very engaging. I have been training for the last 12 years, but this almost feels like I cannot see all of you, so only your interactions will make me understand that you are with me in this journey. So I would like to ask one question to all of you, that if you share your resume to me, and I am a recruiter, what is that one thing that I would want to absorb out of that resume? Can you all send that in your chat? And we shall get started. Probably you could get a notepad and a pen, and we will also talk about ATS and what are the ways wherein you can help ATS to understand your capabilities. I am just going to share my screen. Let me know once my screen is up. the weight of the first offer will be pretty heavy, and very, the entire family would be expecting you to crack a job. You would be expecting something out of yourself. But the very first thing is, your resume may be strong, but it should definitely have a lot of evidences of your capacity. Today, in the age of AI, we have all reached a certain stage that we know that a human interaction can make any work more intelligent, more diligent. But one thing is for sure: if we are not very sure of the capacity, as a recruiter, I wouldn't know what you would bring on the table. It might be as simple as your college projects, the experience that you have during your internships, during your seminar presentations. A lot of that gets added onto your resume rather than just my skills, my experience. I remember the first resume that I had built close to about 14 years ago, wherein I had just written my hobbies are traveling, photography, and things like that, right? So today, it is not very relevant. So a resume should be extremely relevant. If I probably share my resume, which I had built 12 years ago, I'm pretty sure mine would be the first resume which will get into the void. We've all been into that whole thought of, I've been sending my resumes, but I never get a response. I want to take an opportunity to actually explain how this entire thing works. Now, probably in a engineering college, there are close to about, 8 to 10 branches. And in each of these branches, there are close to about 50 to 100 students. So in a year, there are close to about 800 students who graduate. And with respect to all 800 of them sit for their placement opportunities. One unfortunate thing is, some of the colleges don't even have a placement training cell, wherein they don't train the students as to how they can exhibit their skills that they have. It is just left to them, right? And few of the colleges do have it, but it is one size fit for all kind of a training. Um, on the other side, here with our industries, we have something called as ATS, which is called as applicant tracking system. So when you go to a company's website and you upload your resume, there is a robot or there's an application which actually fine tunes the various things that you would have entered in a resume, and will let you know if you actually match to the job. So let us move from the whole idea of applying for a job to matching it for a job. I think that is where we are in terms of the industries. They would want a job to be matched to an individual, to an individual skill. They're really not, geared up for a person who can actually, have few skills, few technical skills, and he's going to learn on top of it. But more than that, they would want the evidence. Coming to this topic, every job has a job description, so there are roles, skills, requirements, and these define what is the job capacity that is supposed to be executed. And there is a resume. Now, this system actually matches this too, and it gives certain workflows wherein it picks few keywords, and then it comes to a recruiter. So most of the time, your resume doesn't hit a human review at all. It somewhere gets lost here. And today's training is all about these four questions. I want us to kind of make a note of it. As a recruiter, I would be interested to know who you are, what role you can do you fit in, and what job can you actually help my org to have a certain capability with. What can you do, and what is the proof? Now, AI was the biggest thing wherein everybody told, I'm good with AI. Now, being good with AI, is it just about level one of just prompting the AI and having conversations with AI? Or is it about in level two wherein you connect, certain of your connectors like Gmail, your Drive, and you are able to design few workflows? Or it is probably to level four or level five wherein you can build an app. So these are various levels of mastery. So if you're writing, I'm, AI skill is high, or I've attended a certification course on AI. Now, the big question for me as a recruiter is, so what? What do I get in return for you attending that certificate? So it is very important for you to mention the evidence. All right. Now, here is an activity for all of you. It's called the 7-second challenge. And there is a very particular reason why it's called the 7-second challenge. Because ideally, a recruiter takes close to 7.2 seconds for him or her to review your resume. So, what can you observe in 7 seconds? And I'm going to just change the slide, and I'm going to come back here. Would you want to just tell, what did you observe? Because there was definitely more than 7 seconds. Anybody wants to just chat in with respect to what did you observe? I can put up the slide again, but you've got only 7 seconds. Her name is Sunita Reddy, and these are her skills: digital marketing, social media. Work history is, she's developed and executed something 25%, 30% within the 6 months. Coordinated local business. Okay, marketing intern. She's assisted, on the social media campaign, and this is her education, and this is it, right? Now, what would interest me to get in touch with Sunita is a question. Now, the same thing, I want us to look at somebody like an Aditya Sharma. So now one thing is very clear. He has added the skills that he has. You know, he has ensured that what exactly he has done, he has ensured that he has put in bulletin points. I saw somebody here wherein, how to how to write huge experience as bullet points. So if you actually observe here, this particular slide, it's too much of English. I do not have the patience nor do I have time, because I have a target running for me that I have to close in on so many positions. I do not want to read so much. On the contrary, here Aditya has ensured that he has concise points. He has ensured that these certain keywords are highlighted. There are skills, which is a clear differentiator, because every job description comes with a certain skills. So that becomes much more easy. So in the 7-second rule, if let's say both of them apply for the same job, I would probably be slightly aligned towards Aditya for me to just check. Anyway, company name and bullet points was there. You see, only Sunita Reddy, digital marketing, 12%. Absolutely, Ujay. And, just the skills part, company name and the bullet points. Exactly. So this is all the time we have, when it comes to, reviewing a resume. And this is after these three stages. So you would have passed stage one, stage two, stage three. And just because, this resume is just out from Google and it's just been put without any thought behind it. And I remember that, during most of our resume review sessions, we would see that the resumes would not even have a different name, right? Sometimes the candidate's name would be different, but the father's name would be the same, because they would have just copy pasted it. So my whole intent of bringing this topic is, please invest time, because this is your visiting card. This is your card for you to get into any industry that you would like to come. So this is a very small thing. Like, for example, seeking a challenging opportunity in a reputed organization wherein I can utilize my skills and grow professionally. Now, these are the first two lines. People just, chat GPT it, or, just Google it out. They write, objective, and they just write 2, 3 lines. And we all know that it is just taken out from a particular data source on internet. Rather, see how you can actually input your skills. Like, for example, let's say you are a business analyst and you are, you are core into creating dashboards. You're very good with the data. So why not, just putting it so generic that, I want an opportunity where in a reputed organization. Rather than that, you could probably give that these are the tools I can do, and, I am very interested in solving business problems. See, nobody likes to have folks who can voice out the problems, right? We generally like people who can give us solutions, right? I mean, this is one particular thing that you should always try to have: who you are and what is it that you would want to solve by joining this organization, which will attract. So this should be right below your headline. So ideally, this is called your headline, right? And it is always advised that you put in your, the role that you aim. And I also wanted to check, see, one resume fits for all job roles is just a myth. You'll have to match your resume. How do you match? I'll take you through it as we go ahead. Okay. Claims and evidence. Like how I was telling, my hobbies are photography, watching movies, um, going to theater and watching few of the cinemas. That cannot be just told like that. Similarly, like how I'm talking about hobbies, this feels the same when I say, my strengths, is leadership, communication, problem solving, team player. Trust me on this, till date I see resumes which has just this, right? Now how would I know if you're a team player, right? You're just telling team player, but I don't know. I cannot call up your project members and check, was he a good team player, did he contribute, or did she present well, or did she do her part of the work? So how would I know? I would know only with evidence. So rather than telling, I'm good at leadership, it is always better wherein you tell, I led a 5-member team. We had this presentation and we had a hackathon and we were a team of 3 and we came second, or we created this in our final year project and we were a team of 5. I led this team of 5. Probably if people write creativity, rather than just writing creativity, you can tell, I solved a problem by creating something, by creating an app, right? So my college had a parking issue and I created an app which could give in alerts if the vehicle stacking was almost close to full. Now that's innovation, right? So claims versus evidence is a very important thing. 10-15 years ago, if we had the same call, I would have probably just told, write more and more claims. Just tell you're good at leadership, good at um, uh, good at academics, good at sports, good at everything. But today it's not about claiming, it is about evidence. Companies don't want to just take you for what you say. Companies want to see if you have been there and done that. Well, I'll just take a pause for a minute. I've been going a little swift through the slides because I have a lot of things to tell you. But I have one more question. All right. Can we have the question come up, please? I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Which sounds stronger? I'm a leader or I led a team of 5? And why? I led a team of 5. Okay, somebody tells I'm a leader. Okay. So, Tejesh, you're right. I am a leader does sound strong, but the whole point is I wouldn't know what is your leadership capacity, right? Maybe you could probably explain a little more in terms of a situation as to how you were a good leader. That would be much better than you telling I am a leader, right? So that is where I was getting at. Anyway, I am just going to go to the next slide. So this is a very important thing. I've heard a lot of my, friends, cousins talking to me that I do not have experience. But if they don't give me an opportunity, how can I actually tell that I have experience? And everybody just prefers having experience of 2 years plus, 3 years plus. See, agreed, right? Because organizations definitely need some bit of capability which is already built. Now, there are a lot of instances wherein we would have ignored the capacity that we ourselves have obtained. See, the number of years that somebody has acquired over working on some particular domain, let's say software testing or front end development. or human resource. They would have gone through a lot of situations, and companies would be looking at that, the skill to maneuver those tough situations. Now, if I am that particular person who has asked for a 1 year plus experience, and let's say you do not have that 1 year plus experience, you can still tell about your projects, about the internships, about your competitions that you probably had, um, you know you had participated during your college time. It could also be your final year projects. Most certifications, very, very, very important. Certifications, people just write the certification name. Now, how would I know if I know that certification or not, right? So it is very important for you to tell that what was your learning, what was your impact that you could create because of getting certified. um, See, one advantage that all you new gen folks have is you have technology right in your hand, and you can Google out what are the best certifications, what are the industry relevant, with certifications which are globally accepted. What are the projects that you can do as a as a group of college students? You don't have to depend on college, right? Today the times have changed wherein people are looking more at the impact more than the effort. So having these answered will definitely help. So this is what I've been talking about. uh, just don't write my final year project is smart attendance system. Rather than that, tell us, how did you create an impact? What problem did you solve? How did you solve? And how unique is this particular project? What is your USP, right? What is your unique selling point? um, it was a meme joke wherein people would say, okay, why do you think I should hire you? Or how do you see yourself after 5 years? But to be really honest, for an organization, that's a very real question. I myself have always laughed about it when at your age, we really are pretty uncertain, right? We want to take life with the flow. And if somebody asks, okay, how do you see yourself in this organization in the next 5 years, you clearly have no idea. Uh, but it's quite an advantage if you really plan your future in terms of your uh, work. So the so what test. This is a very important thing. Probably once after this call is done, look at your resume and probably don't answer it yourself. Give it to, let's say, somebody in your home, maybe your elder brother, maybe your parents, or maybe your friends, right? And ask them. I'm pretty sure you, after they read through the resume, ask them that, did you get this question of so what? Let's say you write, I worked on social media, so what? Rather than that, tell, how you increase the engagement, tell how versatile your content curation was, tell what were the insights that Instagram offered. Now that is some data. uh, Probably writing worked on a marketing project. Instead of that, what was your contribution, what was your research like? Now, again, I'm not telling you to write English. I'm telling write 2 lines, but in that 2 lines, let it not be, I developed a manual school attendance marking system. Instead of that, attendance marking system developed had the capacity to track 72% of something, some math involved, some logic, some problem that you solved. Uh, for example, during COVID times, it was quite an advantage for the attendance tracking system because there was a time save during the virtual sessions rather than for the teachers looking at everybody at all the tiles. Now, for example, there are close to 500 plus people who have joined this connect, right? And let's say we want to take attendance. There's possibly no way we can take the attendance, right? Now that's a problem. Now, be creative enough and probably find a solution. Now that can be a value add to your resume, right? Probably you, every bullet should have a particular point which suggests the impact that you have created. So your skills are one thing for the ATS, and your evidence is for the recruiter. Let's think it like that. Write the skills in such a way that the ATS can pick up those keywords and you get to the recruiter. But when you get to the recruiter, your resume should have more of evidence rather than claims. I hope I have been clear on this. So now I was telling you that it is not about finding yourself a job, it is about matching to a job. Now, just to give you some information, I think you would know it, but there are primarily three sections of industry can be divided into three branches. One would be GCCs, which is called as Global Capability Center. It's also called Global Capacity Center. Now, for example, there would be one company which is in US or UK, or and they would have their subunit in, let's say, in India, right? You would see a lot of people working in Accenture and other companies, right? Wells Fargo and all of them. So they are all GCCs. They would have started as a subsidy unit of the main unit, which is elsewhere, which is not in India. And there are startups. There are startups. Again, this can be a foreign startup also, or this can be an Indian startup also. And there is also an enterprise. Enterprise is a much bigger, well-defined business unit. Now, let's say I have my resume. Now, do you think I will send the same resume to all the three places? Do you think it will have the same impact if I send the same resume? Let's put up some of your chats. What do you think? Let's say I have the same resume for a budding, highly energetic startup versus a resume that I'll be sharing to, a well, oiled GCC, to an enterprise which is a huge setup in India, in Bangalore, probably, or in India, anywhere in India. Would the resume change? What do you all think? I am just looking for some interaction. So, same resume, same candidate, different company. Should the resume change? Yes or no? What do you all think? So probably I'll try to discuss through this case study, and we'll probably check the chats a little later. So we have a person called as Ananya. She's a BCom graduate. She is a business analyst. Now she's got into sales. She's a sales analyst. She's into sales analyst. She has ensured that she has an internship into in operations. Now, how does the lens change is something we'll see. I would want people to quickly make a note. In terms of startup, right? People actually see how you own things because there'll be less number of people. So they would want people who are, who have a very electric personality and they can own up things. They have a very, they have a problem solving attitude. They are go getters, right? So it is always better. So in interviews, whenever you're sitting in for an interview and it's for a startup, ensure that your persona of a problem solver comes in there. That you're a big time executor, not just an ideator but an executor as well. So rather than telling I built a dashboard to track weekly sales. You can always say that you coordinated a 200-member event with a budget, and there was a vendor responsibility. Now that gives you, that subconsciously creates a feeling that you are a person who can actually take in a lot of responsibility. Now, if it is a GCC, as I told you, here it is more of there is a proper structure which is already put in place. So here it is more of how well do you know a process, right? Like, are you wanting to structure that process even better? Are you able to collaborate better? Are you able to be creative enough to solve problems? Are you able to ensure that you have a certain capacity that you can get into the work? Are you a learner, right? That is what which is checked. Are you a person who can learn as the days go by? um, for example, instead of you telling I managed one particular event, I did my college fest, instead of telling that, What can you do? You coordinated so many people, you had to raise so much of funds. So now that can be your talking point when you are doing it for a GCC. Now, one thing is you should be very much clear on the role to which you're applying. Now, let's say I am part of learning and development team, right? I happen to be a principal manager L&D. Now, if at all I'm applying for a senior, head in L&D or a director in L&D, my resume should talk about the evidences wherein I would have executed few of the strategic tasks. But let's say if I am applying for a trainer's role, now if I write that I have created dashboards, I have created that intelligence, which tells how my company is building up from the culture front. Now that doesn't work for me, right? I should probably tell I have trained close to 10,000 hours, for probably for a varied audience of age of 18 to let's say 50 across levels. I've curated training learning journeys for leaders. Now that will help me as a trainer. So now it is my selection in terms of how do I want to position myself, what are my advantages, what are my strengths, what's been my experience, right? Based on that I will ensure that I have a role, and based on that I'll see how I can structure it. All right, I'll probably tell what are the skills I have and what's the evidence that I possess. Now, this is one particular thing. Probably you can take a screenshot, wherein, let's say, with a startup lens and to a GCC lens and to an enterprise lens, if my experience is good with Power BI, in a startup lens, I'll tell what did I build. But in a GCC lens, I'll tell what process did I rectify? What did I streamline better? In an enterprise, I'll tell did it match. I will basically focus that me being good with Power BI, is it matching to the job description also, right? If it is about college leadership, I will tell what did I own in startup. I'll probably be telling how did I coordinate. And when it comes to enterprise, I'll tell what competency does it show, right? What are the skills that gets branched out to the whole leadership that I have. The same with internship, right? What did I handle independently, to what were the processes and tools which I used, and what responsibilities did you perform. uh, so yeah, this is something that I really want to echo with all of us who have joined. Stop sending resumes. It's not a great feat if you send 50 resumes. In fact, it is your own digital print, right? If you send your resume to me, and in fact, you must have observed some organizations will not allow you to reapply at least for 6 months to 1 year, because it is a digital footprint. You have sent your capability to me, and I have gone through it, and I know very well in the next 6 months or 1 year, not much is going to change. So think for at least 5 minutes before you click on that. I have a small framework which I'll be telling in the end. Please use that framework with every time you send a resume. um, First thing you should do is you read the JD. You just copy paste the entire JD, put it into your Claude or Chat GPT. It does a lot of work. Let's use AI. Ask it what are the core JD skills, what are the core job skills that is needed in this JD. How should I actually prepare for it? How should I position myself? What are the different ways that what are the must have skills, what are the good to have skills. If I can do some certification, or if I have already done a certification, how can I just align to that? So just do a thorough understanding of JD. Just don't see, okay, there is a business developer as a job role. Okay, I've done this, along with my friend in his startup, I can just apply. Read the JD very well. um, and try to align with the evidence that you have. If you do not have an evidence, and if you're just sending it as a claim, it's just waste of your own effort and time. And ensure that none of your projects or skills is cliche. Do not think that or they'll just laugh at this. No, if you're really good at at creating agents on AI, why not? That might be some void that you're closing in an organization. So don't underestimate. Just because you're starting your career now, it doesn't mean that you wouldn't know about it, right? And of course, ensure that it is absolutely clean, right? Don't have a lot of English. Don't just put your chat gpt prompt into your into your Claude, and then from Claude whatever English you get, don't put it back to chat gpt and then put it in your resume, just thinking that this will really make your ATS smile, right? It doesn't actually. You need to have certain apps. In fact, we have something called as resume builder. We this I think you will hear a lot about it by Himanshu once I'm done with the session. You can probably have that installed, see how you can clean your resume, and it works. So this is one particular framework that I would want to leave you all with. It's called read, READ. So ensure that you know the role that you're applying. Very, very important. Gone are the days wherein you just open LinkedIn and or Naukri and do like apply, 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 apply. That doesn't work, right? Rather than doing so much of apply, 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 ensure that you apply for one job which you really want and which really matches to the skill that you have. See what evidence you have, align it well, ensure that what is it that me as a recruiter will remember when I see the resume. Like for example, in this resume, you know, there's nothing much I can remember, right? Like how one of our friend told that 12% and her name is all that I can remember. Here, on the contrary, I know that there are some skills, at least that has got registered into my mind. I know that this person has ensured that he is aware of GitHub, right? And I know in terms of my company, we're using a lot of AI, and GitHub is the talk of the town. So I see relevance, I see evidence with that person. So there's some amount of memory that he's holding on. Yeah, so I definitely want you all to reset your resumes. Ensure that you have a target role. Ensure that uh, you you take on certain job descriptions and certain skills. um, Find your strongest evidences, align, ensure that there is differentiator, and I think you will all fly, right? Um, yeah. So probably before looking for a job, this is one thing that you could all do. Invest 5 seconds. Think, what is the role that I'm targeting? What can I do? And what's the strongest thing that I've done? And yeah, this is one last thing. Ensure that your resume, you know, gives you clarity in this blur, right? There's a lot of noise already. You have no idea how many people keep applying for jobs. So your resume should add to your clarity, add to your relevance, not to the noise, right? It shouldn't be just not one off the other resume. And one last slide before you sleep, ensure that you remove one generic sentence out of your resume, add one piece of evidence, and make your target role obvious. The minute I see your resume, I should know for what you're applying. Right? I think I've exceeded my time. I'm not sure. It's 7:40, but I would really, really be happy to take some questions if you would want me to talk about something in detail. Um, you're most welcome to ask us in the chat box.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much for that, Gagan. We actually do have a question in the chat box. Someone asks, should I keep a master resume for a job role ready? As a few recruiters say, apply to a job within 24 hours.
Okay, thank you for that question. You can have one profile of yours, one master resume, wherein you have got it updated to as of now. But I wouldn't recommend you to keep sending the same resume to all the job roles. At the same time, as I told you, do not have like version 1.0, 1.2, 1.3. But probably you might want to work through your job matching, as in when you're applying for different roles. But having one master resume definitely helps. Okay, we have one more question. Using photo on resume is necessary or not? Actually, it is not an absolute necessary. But as I told you, it just helps you to for people to remember you, right? And it adds definitely a certain amount of interest. But ensure that the photo you add in is extremely presentable. That let that not be a disadvantage rather than an advantage. Um, Okay, resume template. I think Himanshu will be speaking, about that. But yes, it is good if you have a templatized resume. So sometimes I would personally advise not to have that funky resume, which very designer oriented, because most of the times the ATS doesn't recognize. I understand you would want to be creative with your resumes. I'm guilty of me being that too at one stage of my life. You would want to add in different colors, you would want to make it stand out. But highly advisable to have a neat, crisp, clean template on that. um, does ATS see professional summary first or key achievements? It definitely depends. It depends on the motive of an org also. It also depends on the certain job roles. Certain job roles are too niche. So for those, it looks at the professional summary. And for generic ones, it looks at the key achievements. What is the minimum and maximum length for a good resume? Okay, that's a wonderful question. Um, I think the minimum length would be the length until which it doesn't bore the other person. So I think that could be a good gauge, right? Some people have. I even have read resumes of 5 pages, which have kept me, on my toes, very engaging. I have read resumes which are half a page and which just puts me to sleep, right? So how much CGPA I'm at? You know what? Education is important, but you know what? It depends from company to company. I would prefer capability any day over education, but I know not all companies do that. But ensure that you build on your skills, you do certifications. If you feel that you haven't been the best at academics, see how well you can, ensure your skills guard you. All right. We put all effort, good resume, but still get rejected. Is there a key amended to get selected? So as I told you, try to be very specific to what role you're applying. Do not have a lot of generic resumes, right? Don't just give a chat GPT prompt and just copy paste it and send it out as a resume. I'm very, very sure Himanshu is going to talk about our new product, which is called the Resume Builder. It's going to help you there. What is the best way to showcase my deploy project in resume? Should I add checking link with the word live? Yes, absolutely. Hyperlinking it would be a great idea. If not, there might be few people who are hard pressed on time. They might not click on the link. So maybe you can just summarize in 2 or 3 lines so that, as a commoner, I understand what impact you created. All right. I think we're done with the questions. Over to Himanshu.
Yes.
Thank you, Gagan, for such an insightful session. And I think today our attendees now understood what this ATS is all about. So
Yep.
far, I think the attendees must have heard this keyword ATS, but today actually they understood how this work, and they understood before their resume even goes to a recruiter, there is a machine which has its own set of algorithm, and it decide actually should the resume reach to the recruiter or not. So I'm Himanshu, and we at My Careernet has built a very exciting productivity tool that is AI Resume Builder. So this tool we have built with the feedback received from 2,000 plus recruiters, and this is the outcome of their wisdom. So I will not take much of your time, and I will directly take you to the demo. So let me share my screen. Please let me know if you are able to see my screen. Yep, I hope my screen is visible. Okay, so is it visible? I hope. Yep, I think so. Yeah, so please go to My Careernet and then you can go to resources, click on resume builder. Here, this is our AI resume builder page where you have two options. One is you can start building your resume from scratch. The another option is you can upload your existing resume and update that. So I will go for this option, upload existing resume. Then after I can do sign up to the portal, which takes not even 30 seconds. So I am signing up. Yeah, so here you see you have these two options, create from scratch and upload existing resume. We are going ahead with this option, upload existing resume. And while I'm giving you the demo, on parallel, you can also try refining your resume if you already have. If not, you can try building your own resume and see how this help you. So we get this option where I can upload my resume. I will go and upload my profile. Yeah, so it is processing the document. And while it is processing the documents, so please s- stay with us till the end of the demo because we have a surprise which we are going to reveal at the end of the demo. So usually it takes only 20 to 30 seconds, but today it is taking a bit more, probably because of the rain. There is some bandwidth issue. So it is taking a bit more time to upload. But yeah, so here we go. So once you reach this page, you can see we have 20 plus ATS optimized templates. We have the classic, bold, two column, and many other templates. So you can choose any of the template you want. For example, I will go with the classic. I click on next step. So here you can see it has uploaded my resume and I'm able to see my old resume on the right side. On the left, the tool has extracted all the information from my resume and it is able to show here. So for example, my name, designation, mobile number, and other things. I click on the next. Here, it has taken the summary from resume. If I want to change it, I can enhance it with AI. I will skip it for now. And it has shown all my skills based on the resume, my primary skills as well as secondary. Skip for now. So here it has taken all the details from my resume. For example, my work experience across the different companies. We go to another section, which is about the colleges. Yeah, so here I can add the projects I have worked on. Here I can add the certifications I have. I will skip it for now. So here we come to the final screen where you can see the resume, and also we have the ATS checker, which is checking my resume against a job role. So it is working. So I will show you. So for example, yeah. So the very first thing is this is my resume in the classic template. You can see. And if you want to change the template, so just click here. This is the bold template and you can see it in real time. So this is the bold template. So whatever template you like among these 20 free templates you can use. So yeah, everything on my Careernet is free. Okay, so for example, this, right? So just go here, change the template and you can see, yeah, for example, this, right? And yeah, so here you can see the ATS checker has given a score to my resume against this job role, which is 85, excellent. And it has also given suggestions, for example, what are working well and where I need improvement. Right, so this kind of information I have got. And yeah, so let's say I am applying to some other job. I can just check that and I can update the score. I will get the new score. So this is how you can use the ATS score here. Right, so I will go back. I can go back to edit. I have jotted down the points and I can refine my resume as per the suggestion provided by ATS checker. And yeah, I can work on it again. And once I'm happy with the resume, I can just come to the same page and I can download it as a PDF. This is how our resume builder works. So please start using it and try building your resume. And if you need any feedback from us, so you can just join our Telegram channel, drop your resume, and our recruiter will go through that and they will share their feedback with you. So this is all about the resume builder. I hope you love the product, and once you are going to use it, I can definitely say that you are going to love it. So before winding up, yeah, I talked about surprise, right? So the surprise is, to see the surprise, you have to come to my careernet homepage, and here we have the 15-day practice challenge. That is a surprise we have for you. So yeah, so this is something which is going to help you gain confidence before you go for your real hiring assessment. So we have the contest window between 1st September till 15th September. During this window, you have access to 28 free mock exams, which might disappear after the contest window is closed. So just go attempt the mock test, and pick any 5 or more mock test, score more than 60% plus in each of the mock test, and you can get many exciting rewards from us, such as your LinkedIn makeover. You can get your resume reviewed by our recruiter. You can even win My CareerNet merchandise and much more. So yeah, participate in the 15-day practice challenge, and the registration will close on 31st of August. With this, I am done. If you have any question, you can put it on the chat, and you can join our communities where you can interact with us anytime you want. That's it from my side. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Himanshu. Like I said, if you have any questions on the tool or itself, please drop them in the chat and we will follow up with you after the session as well. And that brings us to the end of today's session. So, a very quick recap before we go. Today, Gagan walks us through how recruiters scan resumes in seconds, how to write a profile summary that actually says something, how to work with ATS instead of against it, and how to show impact even with limited experience, and the red flags that quietly cost people interviews. So, a few things before you go. The recording will be sent to everyone who registered so you can revisit any section. You can get your resume feedback anytime in the Resume Clinic channel on our Discord server, so do check that out. And if you have not yet tried the AI resume builder that Himanshu showed us today, that is where you can see on the screen the QR code and you can scan it to try. And finally, join our WhatsApp channel using the on screen QR code to stay tuned on more sessions like this. Thank you so much, Gagan, for such a practical session today. And thank you, Himanshu, for the demo. And also, thank you all to our audience for being here today. We will see you at the next My Resume Clinic session very soon.
Cool. Thank you. Oh, so there is a question, I think.
Yeah, there's a question.
Right.
Is it completely free? Yeah, this is completely free. Or does it have a free trial? No, this is completely free. So you can access all the mocks. So we have 28 free mocks available on the portal, and nothing in my career then is paid for the candidates. Everything is free. But yeah, we would suggest to register for this contest. The registrations are closing on 31st of August, and start taking the mock during this contest window, which is from 1st September to 15th September. Okay, so that's it.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
the very
Thank you,
best for your
everyone.
future. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Have a good evening.